All right, lunch breakers and takers. It was a tough one. Tough loss. Season finally comes to an end. Oh, okay. We got people in the chat room already. They ready to talk. We got the Let's Get Ready Network. Is this Suge? This must be Suge. He was Suge was waiting for this moment. Suge, this is your moment. like Chase Claypool. You finally did it. You found somebody to take us out. Shout out to God's Child. God's Child. What up, God's Child?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah. He said that he also said earlier we're gonna go all the way next year. We'll see. Z the Beast, welcome to the live stream. Courtney Rogers, welcome to the live stream. Appreciate y'all coming through. All right, so y'all saw the game, man. It was a pretty poor effort by our offense, man. If we're being honest with it, the defense stepped up. They gave up 10 points. Right, we threw that pick six. Look, it finally caught up to us. Right, we didn't invest in the offense. This pretty much played out. Like we said earlier in the season. We were rolling for a few weeks. We were playing some bad teams, and it feels good when you're winning those games. And we had a good win against the Titans, but the Bills didn't really do anything special to stop us. It's just that we don't have a good O-line, and we just don't have a good coach on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, that's just what it comes down to, right? I mean, all season they haven't looked comfortable throwing the ball, and it showed tonight. Right now, we had opportunities. We drove down the field plenty of times. We had opportunities. The missed field goals, can't do much about that, right? But the pick six was bad, and that's on Lamar. I'm not gonna put that on anybody else but Lamar. But just poor blocking, poor execution. Coaching got to take blame for that. So, what's your take, B?
Yeah, like I said, we've been saying it since the beginning of the season. They didn't invest in the O-line. They didn't invest in weapons on offense. And, we talked about it, like, even if the defense plays up to, what you expect of them.
Appreciate that,
right?
Yeah.
Even if the defense plays up to expectations, you still are not going to win that way.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. They played great against Tennessee. They played really well tonight. But there's just not enough on offense for this team to get any further. Now, the good news is they're not that far away. Go get a center and go get a couple wide receivers, and they're a contender for the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah. Shout out to our patron member, Ferris. Okay. He said no circles the wagon like Buffalo Bills. Look, man. Look, congratulations to the Bills, man. Look, they played a good game. I mean, they didn't have a great day on offense either.
No.
Look, if we're being honest, like they had some missed opportunities too early in the game. But
it was difficult to tell watching on TV. But the weather was bad. The wind was affecting a lot of those deep passes.
Yeah.
Tyler Huntley missed a wide open Hollywood Brown at the end of the game.
Yeah.
It was tough
crazy
all the way around. That's why I thought it was going to be low scoring.
Yeah, because even when Tyler Huntley came in, like we had opportunities to tie the game. If he hits Hollywood on that touchdown, and of course, Mark Andrews, that's a story, right? Mark Andrews, hold on to the ball. That's 14 points right there.
I feel bad piling on Mark Andrews for that one. That was a really, really tough catch.
It is.
But, if you want to win these kind of games, you got to catch it.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Here's the frustrating thing about our team. We recognize on defense, we want proven veterans, not just proven veterans. We want really good players, right? We're not relying on rookies, except for Patrick Queen, but they're not. That's just an added bonus. On the offense, we don't have money to spend on good, solid, solid to good wide receivers, O linemen. We're gonna get it done with rookies, right? And then when we get to the playoffs, it's like, well, we don't want to rely on rookies. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we get so conservative, because you don't want to rely on those young players. Why are you flipping back and forth between J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards when Dobbins is killing them? I get it. Dobbins had 2 bad drops.
It's funny, they actually ended up with the same number of carries and the same number of yards at the end of the game. But David is a more talented player, and they just don't want to give him the ball like
Yeah.
he's the more talented player.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, man, your boy Greg Roman is taking a beating in the comments.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. Yeah. So let's pull some of this up. G Star 007. What up, man? Why wait till 1 second to get the plays off? We do that. Usually, good offenses do that when they're trying to kind of gauge what the defense is trying to do, see if they're trying to bring a blitz or whatnot, right? We just do it. Looks like just a waste of time because the plays that we're running, you don't need to see who the mic is. You don't need to see who's blitzing. Like, we're not running anything.
And to be fair, when Huntley came in, I mean, I think more of that was just him, needing to read the plays off of his wristband, and like he's not, used to being in the huddle calling the plays and everything like that.
But, you talking about Tyler?
Yeah. After Lamar went out.
Yeah. I mean, look. Listen. The problem started way before Tyler came in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many bad snaps were there from the center? Which center was that?
Was
it McCarry?
Yeah. And that's the craziest thing about Baltimore. It's like you can't even pin the center problems on one guy. All of them were having that problem.
And you and I have been saying this, right? Harbaugh skates a lot of times from criticism because these guys were not ready to play, right? They just weren't ready to play. You had about 4 or 5 bad snaps. 2 of them went over Lamar's head. Yeah. One of them cost him got him a concussion.
Right.
Like, that's not a laughing matter. Like, that got him a concussion. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing you can do because we didn't make the investment in the offense like we should have. So there's nobody else you can go to. You just have to roll with it.
Yeah.
The mistakes that we make on offense, if it happened on defense, there's a price to pay, right? Mm-hmm. That person is not going to be there, next year or the next week. We're going to find a way to correct that. Our offense is just, hey man, it is what it is. What can we do?
Yeah.
Real quick, Sportscaster, Devil's Adam, thank you for joining the live stream. Panther Princess, thank you for joining the live stream. And shout out to everybody over here on YouTube. Bruno Moraine, Z the Beast, Noah Driscoll. What's going on, Noah? Courtney Rogers, appreciate y'all coming through. Dorsey Hilliard. If you guys are new here, and Coach, I see you, Coach. I'm going to get to y'all in a second. If you guys are new here, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the follow button over on Sportscaster. We are trying to get to 250 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the month. We're close. So, do us a favor, subscribe, tell a friend. We would greatly appreciate it. Also, you look up there. If you want to support the show, if you're feeling what we're doing, you can go to patreon.com/LBHT show. Also, B, would you do the honors? Right there. There's our QR code for our Cash App, $LBHT show. So anything you guys want to donate, if you donate on Cash App, make sure you leave a comment so we can read it on air. Thank you very much. All right, let's go over to the comments here. We got Coach. Coach says, yes, too many penalties and poor time management. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That one drive, how many false starts were there? I lost count.
I'm not even sure. I remember the early in the game, they had a drive with 3 straight penalties on offense. They didn't even get off a play. They had 3 straight penalties. That took them back to the 1 yard line. A couple plays later, they were in midfield. But,
yes. That's the crazy thing. Like, Lamar still got them to midfield. Look, everybody's going to dump on Lamar. Like, you already know what the media is going to say about this game, right? Lamar, outside of that pick six, he played really well. Mm-hmm. It's just, considering what he was working with, 3 straight penalties, pre-snap penalties. That's disgusting. Poor snaps. They're letting the defense just get right in there. On that drive where he threw that pick six, the play right before, you had Hollywood streaking wide open, right? He was coming open, and Lamar saw him. People were like, oh, Hollywood's wide open. He missed him. He didn't miss him. Jerry Hughes was right in Lamar's face before he could make that throw.
Running back, I believe it was Dobbins, missed a block on Jerry Hughes, and he couldn't get enough on the throw.
Yeah. Jonathan Washington, thank you for joining the live stream. Jonathan says, I've been saying it for a minute. I don't think anything will change as long as we have Harbs at the helm. Yep. If we are serious about extending Lamar, we need to invest in him. Give me Airbnb, a wide receiver, and O-line. Now, it's funny because there was a story out today saying that the Ravens were open to contract extension with Lamar.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Yeah, and you and I have been saying it. I mean, look, this is just in general. If you're for any player on any team, right? Don't extend with the team. Hit free agency, right?
Yeah.
Hit free agency. Now, in this case, if you're Lamar, the only way, if I'm Lamar, the only way I'm taking an extension is if I'm getting the most money ever for a quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did Pat Mahomes get? $40 million a year.
I think it was a little above 40.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if they're offering me $41 million a year, sure, I'll extend right now. I don't need to hit free agency. But if you're offering me less, no, I'll hit free agency, or you can tag me, right?
Yeah.
Players should never extend with the team because you're always going to make more on the
Well,
open
yeah,
market.
that's the thing with quarterbacks. Yeah, you're going to get a top of the market deal, almost no matter what. If you're a good starting quarterback,
Yeah,
so that's fine. And then
appreciate it, Chris Hall. Yeah,
so you can you can renegotiate those contracts whenever. Every other position, absolutely hit free agency.
yeah. But in Lamar's case, and we said it too, yeah, and that's what Jonathan Washington was saying too. Like, I will want to see what you're gonna do with the offense before I go ahead and sign a long-term deal with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I want the money, but also I want to see how you're going to invest in this team, right? Especially if you're not going to offer me what Mahomes is making. So if you come a little bit under Mahomes, okay, well, what are you going to use that money for, right? Because I already see you planning on saving some money, cutting Mark Ingram, right? That's why he wasn't playing tonight, right? Because you didn't want him getting hurt because he could be a $5 million cap hit next year if he's injured. So you're already trying to save $5 million there. You want to extend me and save a little money. Okay, cool. So what are you going to put that money towards? You going to put it towards more defense, or are you going to start putting it into the offense? Because what I see, we need center first and foremost. We need a center. We need at least one wide receiver, probably two wide receivers, and another tight end.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what we need to be looking at.
And this offseason will be telling because this is 3 years in a row now that the offense has let them down in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And
hit the like button.
The response hasn't been there before,
right?
So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Panthers Princess, thank you for the tip over on Sportscaster. I appreciate it. Dan56, thank you for joining the live stream. You guys are awesome, man. Hold on, let's go to our Patreon. Patreon they get preferential treatment. Okay. How the hell did John Harbaugh win a Super Bowl? Because the last 3 seasons he has been a good coach. Yeah.
Elite Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Lamar did save him twice. He was on his way out the door. People forget that year we drafted Lamar. That offseason, the owner said in the press conference he was thinking about firing Harbaugh. He thought about firing Harbaugh, decided against it. So that tells you right there he was on the hot seat.
And they were 4-5.
And we were 4-5, and we weren't even sniffing the playoffs, man. We weren't really in it until they put Lamar in. Yeah. Right? Lamar absolutely saved this job. I mean, he may not even have made it through the season if they didn't start Lamar. Mm-hmm. All right. You meant hasn't been. I got you, Ferris. I got you. He hasn't been a good coach. And I asked this before. Like, what was the last game that you watched and you said, man, Harbaugh really coached a hell of a game? Right? Like you haven't seen it. You haven't seen a game where you're just like, man, he really coached that team up. Nah, it's been a while. It's been a while. He's definitely riding on the success of Lamar. And I think Lamar saved his job this year too, because we got out of the first round of the playoffs. Now, how we missed the playoffs altogether, I think he'd have been out of here. But he's probably safe. Greg Roman needs to be gone though. Off the record, I think this is Mikey. Invest in the center, absolutely.
And invest in a veteran center.
Now, Dorsey, like this is the wrong answer here. We already have Colon Castillo as center. No, we don't. Colon Castillo is a good rotational player.
That's fine if he's going to be there and be the backup. They need to bring in somebody with talent who can solidify that position and lock down that position.
Yeah. This is exactly what I said last year, right? When we were talking about Skura, right? Skura played well through the season, but I was still like, we need to get somebody with some talent there. Like he's playing well in this team now, but when Yonder retires, right? It's going to be harder for the interior O-line. And we need to get somebody that's more talented. You know, he's solid, but he's not great. And now he lost his job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eric, what's going on, Eric? Shout out to Eric. Thanks for joining the live stream, brother. Offensive
What's up,
center
Eric?
needs to be revamped. Them edge rushers are trash as well. Just saying, wide receiver need a number 1. And 2, Brown saved me from saying something tonight. Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that, man. Absolutely. I think we said this before. I'm good with letting both of those edge rushers walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And unless they come in at a low price or a very fair deal, I'm good with Judon and Yannick both walking in free agency, and I don't care how we replace them. I don't care what we replace them with, because we just haven't been getting a pass rush with those guys. So, and the defense has been fine. The defense has been fine. So why spend the money there, right? We tried it. It didn't work. So invest in the offense now. It's time to give your best player weapons and protection.
Right.
Ferris wants to know who is the best center in the league. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. But where is Judon in 91? Yeah. Ferris wants to know, hold on, who is the best center in the league? Now, we were looking at who the best available free agent is, and that's Alex Mack, right? And I would love to have Alex Mack if we can get him, if he doesn't re-sign.
Yeah, as far as best in the league, like that's something that's real fluid.
Yeah.
And I don't watch all 32 teams enough, like that to be able to just name the best center.
Let's see. Eric says, what up? Z the Beast says Yannick isn't getting more than 15. I don't know.
15 is way too much.
Yeah.
It's way too much for Baltimore to keep him, though.
Yeah, I just don't see any reason to re-sign either one of these guys, to be honest. And I like Yannick, and I like John, to be honest, right? I don't think they're bad players, but for what they're going to cost, nah, I'm good. I'm good with Bowser. I'm good with even Ferguson, even though Ferguson's looking kind of like a bust. Draft and whoever you can get in free agency at a low price. That's you're gonna have to roll with next year. We can't go all out for defense anymore. It's just not a winning formula.
No, it isn't. And again, like, we talked leading up to this game about how Buffalo's defense wasn't that great. They're a lower tier run defense, an okay pass defense, but nothing special there. Yeah. And they held Baltimore to 3.
Yep. Helio Dominguez, appreciate you coming through, man. The worst part, they gonna see this as winning season, and Roman will remain in the job. I hope not.
I don't think Roman's gonna keep the job. I really don't think so.
Especially after the performance tonight. If it was a shootout, I could understand that, but I mean, they looked awful.
I mean, we always talk about how Harbaugh likes to hire his friends. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's friends with Doug Peterson. Bring him in as the OC.
Yeah. I missed this. Chris Hall, you wanted to know what do we need to do going forward. I think we kind of answered that. Offense is what you need to invest in, right? Because when we lose these games, it's all about Lamar, right? It's not really about what anybody else did. It's about Lamar. So if it's going to be on Lamar, make sure he has everything he needs to succeed, right? And, I mean, you look at the O-line, dude. Look, the good news is Ronnie Stanley will be back next year healthy, right? That's going to help. So we don't need to see DJ Fluker out there at tackle, right? But we have to do something at center, right? I mean, the guards, maybe Ben Powers will be fine long term. Maybe Bozeman or some, or Phillips, if he can get stronger, the guard, okay. But center, we need to lock down that center position, and we need to get it right.
Well, I think they will be fine at guard. And you got to remember, Phillips was a late third-round pick who didn't have an offseason, an NFL offseason to get ready for this year. All those guys are, him and Powers are very young. I think moving forward, they'll be okay. Not to say that they shouldn't add a guard, but that can't be the focus.
Yeah, no, I agree. Ferris says Doug Peterson is a better option, unfortunately. Do you mean for offensive coordinator or head coach? Because head coach, Eric Bieniemy, is still out there.
Yeah. I think he means offensive coordinator. But
yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I don't have any problems with Doug Peterson. Did you guys read the story about what was going on with Philly?
With Carson Wentz.
Yeah, and Carson Wentz, like I would want out too, right? It seems like it was one of those things where Wentz felt like I don't have to listen to this guy. I'm Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
I don't know how you thought that.
Changing play calls just because he didn't want to listen to Doug.
And he had the support of the front office. Yeah.
Sitting in the meetings, talking, they're like, "Yeah, so you missed this throw." He's like, "No, I didn't."
Right,
Like,
right.
What?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's crazy. No, I didn't. He wasn't open. No, he's open. We just circled him right there. He's open. No, he wasn't. Not for me. Yeah, Young Black Intelligent. Thank you for joining the live stream. Harbaugh needs to go ASAP. I don't think it's going to happen, man. If it does happen, I will be surprised. Right?
Yeah.
I will be surprised. But man, I think Greg Roman, like, is on the big stage. The offense didn't show up. Somebody has to take the fall for that. Look, and the special teams didn't play well either. I mean, this is easily by far the worst I've ever seen them play. By far.
Yeah, because if they make those 2 field goals, then
Completely
that Mark Andrews drop was for the tie.
Yeah.
But it's like, that. I mean, Justin Tucker has been so clutch for so long for them. Like, you almost feel like you can't really blame him.
Yeah. Coach said the route combinations were awful. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's a run game coordinator, Greg Roman. He's not. He can't get it done in the pass game. That's why we get so frustrated when we don't run the ball. And it was funny because I found myself doing that today. Like, yo, why are we passing the ball here? We need to run it. No, man, because we should be a balanced offense. We should be able to complete some simple passes, but we can't do it. And every time we go out there, it's false starts, it's illegal formation, right? Illegal shift, right? Those are just pre-snap penalties. Then it's they can't pick up their blocking assignments. Like they don't practice passing, and they don't have veterans out there that just know what they're doing. Now, see, Wink gets he can get away with a little bit more. I think he's a better coach, but I think he can get away with a little bit more because you have veterans that know how to play the game already, right? So you don't get those pre-snap penalties, right? And you just have guys that just know what they're doing because they're really good. So Greg Roman, part of it is he's just not a good play caller, and the other part is he's not working with much either.
Yeah, we said this on I want to say Joe Nubo show or Engraven show. The failures of this season are squarely on Eric DeCosta. Yeah, Greg Roman's not doing a good job, but the receivers that you gave him are Hollywood Brown, Miles Boykin, Des Bryant, Devin Duvernay. There was a part during the broadcast after Huntley came in where they were saying, this is the point where you need your stars to step up and make a play for you. And then they're like, but unfortunately, it's Willie Snead who's in that position.
Yeah, G-Star 007, man. Like, I've been saying this all year. It looked like they didn't practice. I've been saying it all year. It looks like they don't practice passing. It looks like they don't practice passing. Look, Eric said my college football NCAA 2014 had better routes in my playbook. Yeah, they probably did. I mean, you see guys constantly. You could tell they're running the wrong routes, and Lamar just doesn't want to call them out. They're running the wrong routes. I mean, you see.
Yeah, he got real close with Miles Boykin on that one play where it looked like he missed him. Like Miles was kind of leaning over, trying to reach for it with one hand, and he started yelling at him, but he didn't really want to.
Yeah. Right. I mean, throughout the season, you see wide receivers running into each other.
Yeah.
You see.
I thought that only happened in Carolina. Man, like I'd never seen that happen anywhere else.
You see Devin Duvernay not know where the ball is. Just he's running a route and he's not looking. He's like, okay, I ran my route. Now what do I do? Oh, the ball. Oh, it's an interception. Oh, my bad. Oh, my man Parker is in the house. What's going on, Parker? Thank you for joining the live stream.
What's up?
What's up, guys? Tough loss. Now both of us watch that. Yep, we both watch it, man. We're both spectators now. But thanks for joining the live stream, man. Appreciate it. Z the Beast says Harbaugh is a special teams coach, aka motivator. He should be gone. Bring in Doug or Enemy. Totally agree with y'all. Yeah. Shogun Harlem. Thank you for joining the live stream. Shogun says Coach needs to go.
Just like all of them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't disagree.
yeah, yeah. Jonathan Washington says we should check out the Kurt Warner video studying Ravens offensive schemes. He posted a couple of days ago. He basically dissected how bad Greg Roman has schemes the passing play, the passing game. He doesn't know what he's doing, man. Look,
No,
the team that beat us tonight had Greg Roman as their offensive coordinator. I mean,
and then
they
they
already knew.
fired him, and they are thriving.
Now, the good news is their offensive coordinator is taking another job.
Maybe it's not set yet.
He's taking it. He's not going to say I'm taking it now while they're still winning, but he's taking.
Well, no,
it,
they're still interviewing some people, so it's not 100% yet. But they're saying he's the favorite for the Chargers job.
Man, look, Bills fans are going to look. They should celebrate it, right? But people are going to gloat and say that they got the better quarterback. They don't. What they have is better coaching and supremely better wide receivers, like just on a different level wide receivers. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I said before the game started, they have like 6 wide receivers who would start in Baltimore.
And even with all that, they put up 10 points. Just saying, right? I mean, they put up 10 points. The difference between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson tonight was the pick six. That was it.
Yeah. It's a shame that Baltimore didn't go and get a wide receiver while they had all this defensive talent.
And to make it worse, Harbaugh spoke about them trying to get Diggs before this game, right? Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, we were in on Diggs and it just didn't work out. Like, those are things that I hate to hear from this organization because the same thing they said about Hopkins. Oh, we were in on him, but it didn't work out. They were in on Landry, but it didn't work out. They inquired about Adam Thielen, but it didn't work out. It never works out on the offense. It's just, they just ask for too much, right? But the defense, they always get their man. They always get who they want. And, when it comes down to games like this, we're looking at the offense. Oh, Lamar didn't do enough. Oh, how come these guys aren't catching the ball? They need to catch the ball. You ain't investing them.
Well, yeah, and that's why I always say they need an ideological change in Baltimore. They just don't value offensive players that way, and you're in an offensive league.
Yeah. Eric says he loves Brown. No, you don't. No, you don't. Coach said Leslie Frazier also knew how to defend Greg Roman. That's right. Leslie Frazier used to coach here. Right, he was a DB's coach. I actually wanted him to be our defensive coordinator, but we let him go to Buffalo. See, he thinks he's trash. Yeah, I know how you feel about him. He played well. He played well.
Hollywood is fine. Hollywood's going to be just fine moving forward.
Yeah. Yep. This is true as well. Kenny Stills was out there. Yep.
Yeah. Now he's in Buffalo.
Guys. Yeah. Look. Like I said, congratulations to the Bills. They did what they needed to do, all right? And that started in the offseason. Look, Josh Allen was struggling before this year, all right? He was struggling, but they understood, okay, when you got a guy who isn't that accurate, because for everybody that says Lamar isn't accurate, he has a higher completion percentage, at least coming into this year, than Josh Allen. Josh Allen didn't look great. And when you have somebody that isn't accurate, you don't get them less talent, you get them more talent, right? And you get somebody like Stephon Diggs who has a wide catch radius. You do the same thing that the Cardinals did for what's his name? Kyler Murray, right? You get somebody with the widest catch radius. Like I don't know a pass that you can throw that the Hopkins can't catch, right? And we said, hey, we'll draft Devin Duvernay. He was like the 16th wide receiver picked in the draft.
The smallest catch radius they could find.
Right. And also can't locate the ball.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. Noah says, just imagine how things would have been if we pulled the trigger on getting AB.
It's funny because we were saying that a lot earlier this season and when the suspension was up, and we got a whole lot of arguments from people. People like we were crazy, for thinking about bringing in Antonio Brown.
Someone called us trash because we weren't clapping it up for when we signed Dez. Remember that? That dude was talking a lot of trash, and I said, hey, come back at the end of the year and talk that trash. Where you at? Right? Where you at? Where was Dez tonight? All that talk
Des
about
came in with the backup QB.
yo, all that talk about Dez, all that hype train about Dez. You know, Dez got 2 touchdown catches this year. That's great, but where are you when we need you? Right?
Well, and that's the thing. That's why it's, it sounds like I'm hating, but it's important to point out that one of those touchdown catches, they straight up didn't guard him. They said,
Yeah,
"Oh, no, that's Dez. Never mind.
yeah, yeah.
No, what's going on over here?"
These are the games where we need you to play like Dez, right? If you still got it, if you wants to say, yeah, you still got it. This is the game where you need to step up. Hollywood stepped up, right? Hollywood makes some big catches,
Yeah.
right? And he should have had a touchdown catch there, at the end, but Huntley just overthrew him. I ain't see Dez at all out there, at all.
Yeah, no, I've got a lot of respect for Hollywood. We've been tough on Hollywood. Everybody's been crushing Hollywood this year, but I mean, he's had to develop and try to be the leading receiver on a playoff team in the spotlight. With Lamar.
Yeah,
From day one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah, I don't agree with this. I don't think we should be looking at Juju at all.
Juju need to get his head in the right place.
Yeah. But look, there's a lot of wide receivers that are going to be available this offseason. I think AB is going to be one of those wide receivers. If not AB, then maybe Chris Godwin, right? So get one. Allen Robinson is at the top of my list, right? Allen Robinson's not going back to Chicago. Yeah, he's going to cost some money. Who cares? I don't care how much it costs. Sign him, all right? Sign him, and then draft a wide receiver in the first round. Or get your center if there's a center worth drafted in the first round. Get a wide receiver in the second round. Basically, I don't want to see us draft any defense until round 4 or 5. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done with that. Like, we made all the investment in the defense. We have what we have.
That's hashtag day 3 defense right there. Yeah.
Hashtag defund the defense. Okay. That's coming back strong. All right. Hold on, what we got here.
Oh, well, that is another thing. We should have put it on the ticker there. We have our store up on Teespring. If you want some merch. We didn't put the link in there though. We'll put it in the description.
Yeah, I'll put it. Yeah, after the stream, I'll put it in the description. Yeah. Ferris was asking about that. We got a few things up there. We're gonna put some more stuff up there.
It's just like everything else. So it's teespring.com/LBHT show.
There you go. Now you have the link. So you want some fresh gear. We still gotta get some gear too. Pretty soon you're gonna be seeing us rock our sweaters and hoodies and t-shirts and all that good stuff. So
yeah, I'm tired of wearing Panther stuff, man.
Well, I mean, the season's over for us now, so you won't be seeing too much Ravens gear. And, I'm still going to be rocking it. Who am I kidding? But real quick, everybody over on Sportscaster, thank you for joining. Everybody that's over here on YouTube, I forgot to mention Periscope. The people that are on Periscope, thank you for watching. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. If you are on YouTube, we're trying to reach 250 subscribers by the end of the month. Also on Sportscaster, hit that follow button. Our number's growing over there, man. You guys are supporting on both sides. And if you want to support the channel financially, right up there, patreon.com/LBHT show. Okay, we got a $3 tier up right now. Pretty soon we're going to be doing the $10 tier. Both tiers, we'll have some bonus stuff for our patron members. All right, so yeah, go ahead and sign up. And if you want to support us immediately, you can go ahead and hit that Cash App. That's the QR code for our Cash App, $LBHT show. If you do make a little donation, be sure to leave a comment so we can read it on air. That's acting as our super chat right now. So appreciate you guys, man. Oh man, Gotriots is back. Gotriots is back. Red zone pick sixes are so tragic, man. It was potentially a 14-point shift. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Because it went from maybe being 10-10 to being 17-3. It said, you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Yeah. I mean, that was a heartbreaker, man. I look, Lamar isn't perfect, right? But the way people, in the media and just in public just hate on Lamar, like I always feel like, I got to stand up and defend him. But yeah, he's he's gonna have some bad games.
I mean, this is the end of his third year, and that was literally the first one.
Yeah, in the red zone. Yep.
Like,
First
he just didn't see the guy. That's
that's
all
all
that
it is.
happened.
Yeah.
Earlier, if you were watching the game, the Packers and the Rams game, Aaron Rodgers threw two consecutive end zone interceptions. It's just the Rams dropped both of them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it happens. It
And
happens.
like, look, Aaron Rodgers is just he's up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even comparison to Lamar, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is better, but top offenses, right? Don't let stuff like that hold them back, right? If it was a more competent, look, if Pat Mahomes, and I put Pat Mahomes ahead of Lamar too, but if Pat Mahomes throws a pick six, like, they don't care. Nobody's sweating it on that team because they know they're going to run right back down the field and score a touchdown. Like, it's nothing for them.
Yeah.
And they have that confidence because they run a well-oiled machine on offense, right? Like, he can throw passes. I mean, he throws no-look passes all the time, right? He does it in his sleep. So everybody's on the same page. They know exactly what they need to do. We don't look like that, right? I mean, we look more like that when we run the ball, but even sometimes when we run the ball, it's like, well, I don't know where we're going to go, right? So, Greg Roman, look, I'm sorry, it has to be it for him, and I would expect them to get rid of him fairly soon. They shouldn't even waste time with it, right? Because you got coaches out there looking for jobs. See if we can snag one of these guys to be a O coordinator or head coach. Yeah, Z the Beast. Imagine what we could do with Lamar with real passing concepts. Absolutely agree with it. Don't believe the narrative that Lamar isn't accurate or he can't thrive in a passing offense. He did it his whole career at Louisville. Okay.
Yeah.
He did his whole career at Louisville
Without wide receivers, mind you.
Without wide receivers. Yes.
And that's the thing. I kind of have a theory about that because the same thing happened with Cam, right? They pluck these quarterbacks, and it typically happens with black quarterbacks. But you get Lamar out of Louisville, no talent around him, and you drop him into the NFL, and you say, hey, I don't have to put any talent around him. He's used to it. Same thing happened with Cam. Cam led that Auburn team to a national championship, and he is from that team. He is the NFL leader in passing yards, rushing yards, and receiving yards. and I feel like guys like Cam and Lamar, they look around and they don't think, man, these guys are bad. We need some better players in here because they're used to just being the best player on the field all the time.
Yeah. Look, Lamar is still mad young. While he's young, we have to make sure we're doing everything we can to help him develop, right? He's not even close to scratching the surface, right, of what he can do, right? Not even close. So, if anybody's out there thinking, oh, this is all he can do, that's just haters out there thinking that, right? Mm-hmm. But what we need is our organization to understand this isn't all what Lamar is. He can grow a lot more. He has a lot further to go. We just need the right coaches to help him grow. Right.
Yeah.
Starting out with Morning Wig and Greg Roman, I think that kind of set him back a little bit, if we're being honest. I understand he won MVP last year, but I think imagine if he had Eric Bieniemy,
right,
instead of Greg Roman, right? Numbers would be off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
G Star 007. This is like Cam 2.0. And B talked about that, right? Like they basically wasted his talents over there. He carried them to a Super Bowl. He had some great years there, but they never really tried to build a team around him.
And that's why, it was kind of alarming to me what Baltimore did this past offseason, because I was seeing the exact same thing that happened in Carolina after Cam's MVP season. They went 15-1, they went to the Super Bowl, they lost, and they came back in the draft and they took, I believe that year it was Vernon Butler. Lamar, you go 14-2, he wins MVP. The offense is a no-show in the playoffs for the second year in a row, and you come back and you draft a middle linebacker, and then a running back, and then another middle linebacker.
Yeah. You're caught B12? Yeah, but watching him look at Lamar and Dez when he needed it tonight was sad.
Yeah.
Oh, Hollywood and Dez. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was sad, man. It was sad. It was sad to see. I mean, look, like I said, Hollywood didn't play bad, right? He did what he could out there. Dez gave you absolutely nothing. He gave you absolutely nothing. What a waste of time. And I look, I love Dez. Like there's a lot of Dez fans out there. I'm a Dez fan. What a waste of time signing this man. He gave us nothing this year. Absolutely nothing. Like some people try to excuse it, try to explain it away and say, oh well, yeah, he inspired them, or he gave him that fire. He gave him this and that. Man, that's the coach's job. That's not a washed up wide receiver's job. And yes, he's washed up. Look, I'm sorry, he's washed up. He gave us nothing out there.
The biggest impact he made this season was when he hopped on Twitter and said, "I quit."
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't get talked about enough.
And didn't even follow through on that.
Look, I understand, it's just emotions at the moment. I get it. He calmed back down very quickly. But if that were AB in that same exact situation, he would get slammed for it. And I understand, he has a history. Sure. Right. But everybody be saying, see, this is why we can't have him on the team. It's a distraction. Right. People like using that word. It's a distraction. Was that not a distraction?
Well, look, forget Antonio. If Hollywood had done that, he'd be getting crucified.
Well, he did get crucified because he said, "Give me the ball."
Yeah. I'm saying if he followed that up with, "Man, I'm not playing the rest of this year,"
my man said,
he would have been cut.
What? You quit? What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. ISK, thank you for joining the live stream. That Des Bryant play was BS, and the Bills are lacking a run game, but all the players they got are healthy. We are missing all of our impact players.
Which impact players?
Yeah, we're not. Yeah,
they don't have any impact.
No. He's right. We are missing impact players. We are missing
true.
impact players. All of our players are there, but we are
Nick
missing impact
Boyle.
players.
Nick Boyle, I guess.
Sadly, Nick Boyle would have made a bigger impact in this game because he's one of our better blockers.
Yeah.
I mean, you are right about that, ISK. Yeah, Nick Boyle.
Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of blocking, Nick Boyle and Ronnie Stanley, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the skill position guys out there, that's what you got.
Yeah. So for the defense, man, like I said, I can't say too much about the defense. They gave up 10 points, right?
Yeah.
You got to be able to outscore a team that can only put up 10 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 missed field goals from Tucker,
the most accurate kicker in history.
Yeah, stuff like that happens. There's not a whole lot you can say or do, right? It's just if he misses them, he misses them. You just got to keep pushing. But and then we had a bad punt from one of the best punters we've ever seen, right? And we still, I think, did we give up a field goal on that drive, or is that where he missed that field goal?
He missed it.
Yeah, so the defense still held up, so it was all good at that point. I can't say a whole lot about the defense. That one drive where we gave up a touchdown, though, that's the only thing I can criticize because you got 3 wide receivers stacked to the left, and we have 2 DBs on 3 wide receivers.
Yeah, that happened again a couple of drives later.
Yeah, I know. But outside of that, they did the job. They did what they were paid to do, right? Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, defenses can't score touchdowns for you, right? Yeah. Well, unless it's a pick 6, but they can't go out there and put up points.
Don't let anybody tell you that defenses win championships. It's not true.
It's not. It's not. Look, you want to have a good balance, right? It's not like we're saying make the offense whack or make the defense whack and the offense good, right? You got to have a good balance. What I'm saying is the defense is good enough, right? Even if we get rid of Yannick and Judon and we don't really replace them, maybe the defense gets a little bit worse, but there's still going to be a good defense. The defense is good enough. It's time to bring that offense up because if we had a better offense, a slightly better offense, we run away with that game.
Yeah.
And I'll say this about the Bills, congrats for pulling out these wins for sure. But I look at the Colts game and I look at this game and I see 2 games of missed opportunities by their opponents. Mm-hmm. Right. The Colts should have absolutely beat them. They had a missed field goal, right? They had They had another drive where they should have went for a field goal or could have, they decided to go for it. And even when they went for it, it was an overthrown pass. The receiver was wide open and Phillip Rivers just overthrew him. And then later on, they go for 2 instead of kicking an extra point. I mean, they could have easily, they ended up losing by 3 points. They could have easily won that game.
Well, yeah. That is true. But you know what? Every team misses opportunities.
Absolutely.
Every single team. And I mean, look,
Yep.
Houston, Tennessee, and San Francisco all should have beaten Kansas City, but they didn't.
You're right.
And,
You're right.
and Kansas City was able to capitalize on their mistakes, and they're the champions.
Well, I mean, Houston. I mean, Kansas City.
They capitalized many times on Houston's mistakes.
Kansas City put all doubt away by halftime.
That was the biggest, fastest turnaround I ever seen.
Well, Eric said Wink did some winky shots before the game at the bar. Hey, I got nothing bad to say about Wink, man. He called a good game. The defense stepped up. They did their thing, right? I have no issues with the defense. Roman, trash. That's trash play calling. Even on the first drive, when they're running the ball and they clearly can't stop the run. What are you doing? Like, what passing plays are you calling? Like, then all of a sudden you're handing the ball off to Gus Edwards. You're giving the ball to J.K. Dobbins, and they're moving the ball. And then you want to call plays for Lamar to run the ball, right? Not even pass to run. Yeah, okay. Now we're losing yards, right?
I'm sorry. I know we have a rule of if you want to be a troll, you gotta pay for the privilege. But my man in here talking about the Ravens choking and go Bills. Like, maybe you're young, but the Bills lost 4 straight Super Bowls.
I mean,
and have not been relevant since.
They are the MVP of choking. Okay. Yeah. No. He is young. He is young. He wasn't around for that. But that is your Super Bowl. Is making it to Super Bowl. All right. And don't think this team right here. Well, first of all, don't think they're going to beat Kansas City. And if by some miracle they beat Kansas City, do not think you can beat Green Bay. That's what I think is going to.
I mean, don't be certain you can beat Cleveland.
Yeah. We'll see. Well, Cleveland ain't going to win, so we ain't got to worry about that.
No, but I'm saying if they beat Kansas City, I'm not going to jump and pick Buffalo to beat them the next week.
Right. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. But hey, troll away. But that's the last time we're going to mention you unless you hit that Cash App. You hit that Cash App and leave a comment right there. We'll read it. Okay, we're fair. All right. Yeah, Coach. Yeah, Ray Roman. Rick M, thank you for joining the live stream. He wants to know, think Lamar should get that contract? Well, I mean, it's not a matter of should he. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. It's a matter of should he want to extend. My thing is no. If I'm Lamar, I'm not extending unless either A, you're going to make me the richest quarterback in NFL history, or B, you're making me close to that, maybe just under what Mahomes is making, and you're showing early that you're going to make some major investments into the offense, right? Mm-hmm. Outside of that, nah. If I'm Lamar, I'm not extending. I'll hit free agency. And plus he's got one more year on this deal anyway, right? They can he's got another option, so it's not something that they have to rush to do. But it's just it's better to do it now.
Well, technically he has two more years. He has next year and then the option year.
Yeah. The Bears. We got another troll in here. Look. Mm-hmm. The first one's free, trolls. The first one's free. Feel free to come through. He's just a faster Trubisky.
Oh my god.
Hey, you know what?
That's the most disrespectful thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, but you know what? You got Trubisky.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're about to extend him. How you feel about that?
Congrats on having slow Lamar.
You're about to extend the slow Lamar. Okay, how you feel about that one? That's a self burn. All right. Any more trolls? The Bears and the other guy. All right. Hit the Cash App, and we will read it. Okay. You can drop $1, $2, whatever, $10. We'll read it. G-Star 007.
So bad for Trubisky. he did not ask to be drafted before those two.
Yeah, you're right. Offense way too young and cheap and badly coached. Absolutely. Absolutely. True. Listen, I don't want to keep crapping on my man Des Bryant, man. I love Des Bryant. But Des Bryant was just a bailout move.
Listen, allow me, because I don't love Des Bryant. Yeah, it was absolutely worthless. You know, we try to be optimistic about it and everything, but again, you know, I tweeted it out at the time. What player in any sport history has gotten better with age and injuries?
Yeah, yeah. He missed just about 3 years of football.
You know, he
And
was washed before he tore his Achilles.
look, I asked our fans, if you're being honest, if we are being honest, if another team, especially in the AFC North, if that were the Browns, say, right, after Odell goes down and they went and signed Des Bryant, would we be sitting there saying, "Oh man, we gotta look out for Des Bryant," or will we be laughing at them, right?
Right.
Like, Des Bryant, what he gonna do? He ain't playing forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because he signed with us, and I get it, that's part of being a fan. We getting all hyped up about it, and we're trying to think that, we're thinking back to the good old days of Des Bryant. Nah, that ain't him. That ain't him, man. Like, all he wanted to do, and he showed it. He showed it to us. All he wanted to do was get back in shape, show that he still had a little something, and he wanted to show out for the Cowboys game, just to show them like, ha ha ha, I still got it, and now I'm rubbing it in your face. And he told us that because when he didn't get to play in that game, he wanted to quit.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to quit. So that tells me all I need to know about Des Bryant. I don't care about anything after that because he gave us nothing.
No.
All right, here. What we got? This is the worst Ravens loss ever. Why can't we win, man?
I mean, they got 2 Super Bowls, man. Like,
It's not the worst Ravens loss ever, man. We lost in the second round of the playoffs. That's not the worst Ravens loss ever.
Listen. I got some worse Ravens losses just off the top. Billy Cundiff, Lee Evans, 2 times having a 14-point lead over the Patriots.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
No, the Billy Cundiff and Lee Evans was in the same game.
It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it.
That was the year before we won the Super Bowl, actually. I remember I was at work when that happened. I was working an overnight shift.
So this wasn't even as bad as last year's Tennessee loss.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It is what it is, man. Look, the Bills are a good team. Like,
because everybody knew this team was deeply, deeply flawed. Everybody thought that last year's team was going to roll through Tennessee.
Yeah. So it's always disappointing when you lose, especially this late in the season, right? In the postseason, because you're hoping that we can just pull it together and find a way to win. So it's disappointing in that sense. But the fact is, man, like, that offense just ain't good enough.
Yeah.
This is what it is, and I just hope that Lamar suffered a concussion. I hope he's going to be all right, but yeah, I think he'll be ready to go for next year. But yeah, they have to really look at that, because what caused the concussion? A bad snap, and just a poor offensive line that doesn't even know how to hold a defender, right? Because as soon as he picked it up, they were on him, and they slammed him to the ground. So we need to get some guys that can play this game, not just young guys, man. Like, good players, experienced players. So when we get into the playoffs, they know how to win. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Tough Puppy. What's going on, Tough Puppy? So Roman gone yet? Let's check my watch here. Well, I mean, it is the next day, so maybe he'll be out of here. Yeah, Ravens do not deserve Lamar. That O-line was one word: ass. Yeah, man. No arguments there. Coach says Ravens need to have the balls to part ways with G-Rowe like the Steelers did. Yeah, I think they will. I don't even think that'll be hard. Harbs is not it. He's not. No. I think he's safe though.
Yeah, he is. And like I said, that's fine so long as you bring in a real offensive coordinator and put some money into the offense. Whatever.
What needs to happen is, they have to have a real talk with Harbaugh and let him know that the next OC that comes in is not going to be your friend, right? It's not going to be somebody tied to you or
unless
your
it's
brother.
Doug Peterson.
Wait, did he coach Doug Peterson? I don't think he was there. I mean, they're both under Andy Reid, but I don't think they were there at the same time. I'm not sure.
I I think that they were like assistants at the same time at some
Okay.
point, but
Okay.
I'm sure they know each other well just through Andy Reid.
Yeah. I'll take Doug Peterson. Yeah, for sure. But we'll see. Doug Peterson might end up being a head coach somewhere still. But outside of Doug Peterson, it can't be somebody tied to you. It just can't, because his friends, it's always the same guys, just mad conservative. They're limited, and then they get in here, and then it's hard to get them out because Harbaugh doesn't want to let them go. And we have years like this, especially if it's their first year, right? If this was Greg Roman's first year, he would still be here next year because this is his first year. Right?
Yeah.
But we got to see him in full action throughout the whole season, and the offense just never really looked great. What saving Harbaugh? Two things saved Harbaugh this year: Lamar and a soft schedule at the end of the year. Right.
Well, I mean, the whole year really. They only had a couple tough games.
Yeah, but they were early on, right? But that soft schedule, we got to go on a 5-game winning streak. I mean, they weren't all soft. I mean, the Browns, they're a good team, but that 5-game win streak, I think, really saved Harbaugh's job. Had we lost one more game and we missed the playoffs, I think he'd be done.
Yeah,
that's how close it is. And when it's that close, you shouldn't be keeping your job. The only thing that should be the only thing that should save your job at this point is a Super Bowl, right? Just because you got to the playoffs and you got the first round, and look, good win, right? Good win. But look, man, like, you're limited. Like, they all need to sit down like they usually do, have a conversation at the end of the year, and see if they're on the same page, right? Just ask them, okay, so what changes do you think we need to make for next year? And hear what he says. And if he says, yeah, just bring everybody back, and those players are going to be 1 year older, and but it's just we need to, add more to the defense and get guys going, this and that. Okay, well then, that's it. You're done here. You don't have the vision, right?
Yeah.
But if he says, all right, it's time to invest in our offense. We need, I like Greg Roman, but he gotta go, right? If he says something like that, if he wants to throw another one of his friends under the bus like he did Cam Cameron, right? Okay, you understand the situation here, so we'll hold on to you for another year. Tough puppy. Put Lamar on the Chiefs, and they win 2 Super Bowls already. Well, the Chiefs might win 2 Super Bowls anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. Hold on. Rick M. Yes, Greg Roman was Kaepernick's offensive coordinator. Would you change that system or change the QB? Change the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, change the system. It's the same thing that happened. Yeah, Kaepernick was like Lamar back then. Like, he looked unstoppable at first, but the way he coaches, at some point you can figure it out, because what you figure out is his offense has nothing to do with passing.
Yeah.
Right. And when you figure out how to slow and run,
Greg Roman did not make Colin Kaepernick.
No.
He used his running ability to advance his own career.
Yeah,
and that's fine. And he's trying to do it again with Lamar, but he's not a complete coach. So absolutely move on from Greg Roman.
Yeah. Delaline, I agree with this. Lamar has to stop running the ball or he's bound to get hurt. We've been saying this too. Stop. The game plan is for him to run like 10 to 15 times a game, right? And that's another reason why you have to get Greg Roman out of here. Even if we win a Super Bowl, you have to get Greg Roman out of here, because that's how they want to use Lamar, right?
And to be clear, this isn't like he's gonna tear an ACL or something like that. You're just as likely to get hurt in the pocket as you are running the ball. But this is more of a long-term look. You're running that ball that much. It takes a physical toll over time, and it can shorten your career.
Especially, you're talking about a guy that's taking his team to the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
Right. So you're playing those extra games, you're playing those tougher games in the playoffs, and you don't have an O-line to protect you already. So you have to get somebody that's more, has a more complete offensive scheme, that just a coaching staff in general that knows how to protect their players, right? So he can extend his career, because the way they're playing him right now, they're going to run him to the ground.
Yeah. I mean, they spent a second-round pick on a running back, and Lamar had, 400 more yards rushing than him.
Yeah, yeah. And Tough Puppy, you're right. Lamar didn't even run and he got concussion. Yeah, because we're just trying to snap the ball and he's trying to protect save the ball from
Yeah,
getting a
well,
safety.
to be fair, he ran quite a bit on that play because that ball was sailing.
And yes, I agree with this too, Tough Puppy. 2 words: Allen Robinson. I said that before, right before you came into the stream. I said Allen Robinson is the guy that we need to target. And honestly, before I was saying, hey, Allen Robinson, if not Allen Robinson, we can go, Godwin or AB or, whoever, Galladay if he's available or whoever. But we're done with that. We're done with missing on wide receivers, right? We need to get Allen Robinson. That's the end of the story. I don't want to hear anything else. Get Allen Robinson.
And I'd be shocked if they actually got Allen Robinson. I think they're going to. I think they're going to say, "Hey, the cap went down. We don't have a ton of room to begin with. We need to spend some money on the O line, and we can't afford it."
Yeah, yeah.
And somebody mentioned Will Fuller in the comments. That'd be a good addition, but the problem again with Will Fuller is he's hurt a lot. So he's not somebody you can rely on necessarily for 16 games. So you sign Will Fuller and you still have to go, in free agency again or the draft.
Yeah. Yeah. G Star 007 says every other young QB gets to have better weapons and plays. Yep. I could see if he had no excuses with a stacked deck. No, not fair to judge him yet. Absolutely. We say this all the time. What player on the offense, skill position wise, right? I'm sure most people would love to have Ronnie Stanley, and Orlando Brown. But what skill positions would you look at and say, man, I would give up a first round pick for that guy? No. Not one. Not even Mark Andrews would you look at him like.
And apparently they had one guy on the team who people would give up a second round pick for, and they moved him right on out.
Yeah, he could have helped us out too. In all honesty, like I wasn't a fan of him in the draft, but when you trade him for a second round pick and then do nothing to replace him, that's not ideal either.
No. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Hayden Hurst. I don't think he's particularly good. I mean, he's fine, but yeah, they traded him and did absolutely nothing to replace him in the offense.
So here's what I expect to happen this offseason. Look, before I go on what I think should happen, I'm gonna read Jonathan Washington's comment. An ideal offseason: Eric Bieniemy as head coach, competent OC, let Judon Yannick walk, re-sign Derek Wolfe, Tyus Bowser, get some weapons for Lamar, and draft sign talented offensive linemen. I have a similar ideal too. Now, I don't think we're going to get rid of Harbaugh. I think Greg Roman is packing his bags right now. Bring in an offensive coordinator who I don't know who's going to be available. Yes, I would love to get Doug Peterson. But bringing in an offensive coordinator, there's a conversation that's had with Harbaugh that, look, the offensive coordinator comes in, he's going to be running the offense. You're not going to have much input with that. He's going to run the offense. And as far as who we bring in, I expect us to trade for Zach Ertz because we tried to trade for him before he got hurt, right? I mean, complete that deal, and we didn't get that done. I expect us either to trade for him or if he gets cut, we pick him up then. So I expect Zach Ertz to be here, and that's a good number 2 tight end or number 1, depending on how you look at it. I expect us to sign a veteran wide receiver. I would love to see Allen Robinson. I'm going to be pounding the table for Allen Robinson. Or if AB doesn't go back to Tampa, I'm going to say AB again. I would prefer a younger wide receiver. But, if that's all we're left with, go get AB. I want a good, top-tier veteran wide receiver on this team next year. And then I expect us to draft another wide receiver, right? And then, go get your center or sign a center. Like I said, Alex Mack he might be available in free agency. Go get Alex Mack. If not, go see who's going to be available in the draft. First or second round, go get yourself a center. That's what I want to see happen.
Yeah.
You think Ertz is a free agent? I'm not sure if he might be. I don't know. If he's a free agent, then I expect us to I expect us to get him. Tough puppy things. We'll move up in the draft and get Panay Sewell.
They can't move up high enough to get him. He's going to be
No,
gone probably in the top 5.
and the Ravens don't. They don't trade up. They don't
Like,
trade up.
you know, it would be nice. I mean, he is a left tackle, but I'm not sure who the top interior linemen are in this class coming up, because I haven't really just been paying attention to college football that much up to this point. But yeah, I know Panay, he's going to be a bit out of their reach for where they're picking.
Yeah. So, but all right. Tough loss, guys. Season's done. It is what it is. You know, we went a lot further than the majority of teams, right? So it's not all doom and gloom. You know, we lost to the better team today. Sky's the limit, man. The window is far from being closed here in Baltimore, man. We have a very young quarterback, a really good quarterback. So, yeah, we just got to make the right moves this offseason, and we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be talking a lot about it.
I know it's not all doom and gloom for you, because your boy James Harden put up a triple-double in his debut after dropping 30 pounds miraculously.
Yeah, Harden is back. The beard is back.
Yeah, like I said, the Baltimore's not far away. You know, adding a couple of wide receivers and fixing their center situation, and they're contending for a Super Bowl next year.
Hey, you're saying Cesar Ruiz of Michigan. Cesar Ruiz got drafted to the Saints.
Saints.
Yeah. We could have traded up to get him, but we didn't. I would have loved Cesar Ruiz. Are we taking callers? No, we don't take calls yet. We're not set up for that yet. But just leave a comment, you know, and we'll read it on air. Who had? That's what we said too, Eric. He's talking about Harden. He had a fat suit on. Yeah, that's what it seems like, man. It seems like he had a fat suit on, and as soon as he got traded, he took it off. Look, even Fat Harden was still dropping 40 in Houston, right? He just wasn't putting in the effort. He just didn't want to be there. I mean,
yeah,
we knew that, right?
Yeah.
We knew that.
And I see Tough probably saying they need to draft a center in the first round. You know, I wouldn't be against that, but my thing with Baltimore is I would use the first round pick. I mean, this is assuming they miss on the Allen Robinson or something like that. I would use the first pick on wide receiver, because they are trash at drafting wide receivers, and I know they can find linemen later.
Yeah,
you know, I know if they wait till the second, they can still, or second or third, they can still get their center.
Yeah,
they didn't need Queen, man.
Yeah, Conrad, he said he needed Queen. We had them right. It was like 5 years ago. Yeah. I don't agree with that, Queen. Tub Puppy. Yeah, I agree with Tub Puppy. Call me crazy, but I think Queen was a waste. He was a waste.
You are the sanest person I've ever met.
Look, this is not to diss Patrick Queen. I think he's going to be an excellent player, right? He's a very good linebacker. Had a very good rookie season, right? Good player, wrong pick. Same thing with J.K. Dobbins. Good player, wrong pick.
They're just positions that don't affect the game enough.
Yeah, and it's just not what we needed. All right, there's some teams, you know, that could have picked him up and said, yeah, he had a bigger impact on that team. This ain't the team for it, right? We needed T. Higgins right there. Yeah. We needed T. Higgins. If we're not going to go and spend the money at wide receiver, if we're not going to go and get AB or anybody like that, then you need to keep drafting young, good talent. And we didn't trade up to get CeeDee Lamb. So if we're not going to do that, and T. Higgins is the best wide receiver available, and that's who we thought was the best wide receiver available, you know, get him. And the Ravens thought that too, because they said it was between T. Higgins and Patrick Queen, and they thought Patrick Queen was a better value there. And I think that's nonsense. He did nothing really to impact the game. And then we turned around and spent a third-round pick on Malik Harrison. What a waste. What a waste. Our first three rounds were basically a waste, in my opinion.
They had a lot of picks in those rounds.
Let's look at that. Patrick Queen, J.K. Dobbins, and then we go Malik Harrison, Matabike, Devin Duvernay, and Tyree Phillips.
Yeah.
Tyree Phillips. What a waste. What a waste. All
I
right.
see Z the Beast talking about Justin Jefferson. Yeah, they could have traded up and gotten him too. I know the Eagles are really kicking themselves over that one. Everybody had Justin Jefferson going to the Eagles in mock drafts, and they just willingly passed on him. So, not alone in that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Conrad said Judon's gone. Listen to him in the press conference. Willie probably too. Yeah, they're gone. Why do they need to come back? I'm sorry. Come back for what? You like this was a contract year for Judon and Yannick, and they didn't show out.
I was so certain when they franchised him that he was getting traded.
Yeah.
So certain.
Yeah, we could have had DK Metcalf. We could have gotten any wide receiver we wanted.
This is why I think Baltimore needs to use their first round pick and ideally just draft or sign a wide receiver in free agency.
Yeah.
Hollywood was the first wide receiver taken in that class, and he's the fifth best out of that group.
And I like Hollywood.
They're really bad at picking receivers.
If you're going to, the thing is this, like when we drafted Hollywood and Miles Boykin, I was like, okay, that's cool. That's fine. I didn't think they're going to stop there. You know what I mean? Hollywood just isn't a number one wide receiver. And Boykin didn't really turn out the way I expected him to turn out.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You know, that happens. But, you know, you got to keep following up and keep adding more talent. So had they gotten T. Higgins right there, you know, I said, okay, look, we're just going to go young. Lamar's young, and they want to surround him with just young talent, and they're going to come up together. I get it. But you completely abandoned the offense after that year. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you're trying to lean on these guys. This is just his second year. People forget, man, this is his second year.
And his first year healthy.
His first year healthy. Miles Boykin's second year. Devin Duvernay's first year. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just Mark Andrews, what, third year?
I was saying the wily old vet Mark Andrews can't catch.
Yeah. J.K. Dobbins' first year. So, yeah, he had 2 drops tonight. This is his first time playing that's his biggest game of his career. Right?
You said it on one of our other streams. Chris Godwin is an elite wide receiver, and this is his first playoff game, and he had 4 drops.
4 drops, yep.
It didn't matter because, you know, they've got Mike Evans, they got Antonio Brown, they got Cameron Brate. Like, they have other weapons.
And he also has 79 yards and a touchdown.
Well, yeah,
right? So, like, yeah, he had 4 drops, but you know, he could still go out there and make something happen because they have he has the opportunities to go out there and ball out. In Baltimore, we don't pass the ball that much, so a drop pass weighs a lot heavier on us, you know, and that comes down to coaching. We want to move the ball on 3rd and 5 by running the ball. No, man, that's not how you play the game in today's NFL.
No.
Calais Campbell was not a flop, Z the Beast. He was not a flop. I think he did his job. The defense played well. The problem is we didn't need to spend all of our money and draft picks on defense. That's the thing. I had no problem with Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell I don't think cost that much either.
Well, he did. I think they gave him that contract of like 10 a year or something like that. But it was only a 2-year deal, I believe.
Yeah. I'm fine with Calais Campbell. You know, when we traded for him. It was just everything we did after that.
We were under the impression, they traded for Calais Campbell. They got that extra 2nd-round pick for moving Hayden Hurst. They brought in Derek Wolfe. We were under the impression at that point that they were going to go in the draft and go offense heavy.
That's what we thought. Yes,
and then they drafted Patrick Queen and Malik Harrison and Justin Madubuike.
Yeah, 3 defensive players in the first 3 rounds. What I thought was going to happen was because we traded the tight end Hurst for a 2nd-round pick. I looked at it and I said, okay, we have a first, we have 2 seconds and 2 thirds. We could easily package a 2nd and 3rd round pick with our 1st-round pick and move up in the draft and get one of those wide receivers. I think in our article we did our mock drafts. That's what I put. I had us trading up to get either CeeDee Lamb or
Judy.
Was it Jerry Judy, right? I thought Jerry Judy was going to fall a little bit further. We could have easily packaged to move up and get CeeDee Lamb, or if not, Justin Jefferson, right? Mm-hmm. And we didn't do that because we don't like. I don't know why we covet these picks so much, right? Like we traded back to get more picks, and then look what we used the picks on.
And for Baltimore again, like I said, They need an ideological shift. This is the second time they've had a historically deep wide receiver class, and they used their first round pick on a middle linebacker.
Yeah. Yeah, Conrad. Allen Robinson is the type of guy who can open up on 3rd and 5s.
You know, it's
Absolutely.
weird. There's this one guy available this offseason named Allen Robinson.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So
and you know, I don't think they're going to get Allen Robinson. I think he's going to cost too much for them. But you want to talk about third downs? Let me introduce you to Curtis Samuel. Okay,
yeah,
because
Curtis
that's
Samuel's
all he
another one.
does is convert thirds.
There are wide receivers that can come in next year and really make an impact on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Really make an impact on this team. So
And when you say they're all wide receivers, you mean like all of them, because Baltimore's wide receivers are awful.
I told B, I haven't seen, like this year, I haven't seen so many opportunities to get excellent wide receivers. Like I've never seen a point the time I've been watching the NFL, right, from the mid '90s. I haven't seen so many, really good wide receivers available just out there, right? We had a chance to get Diggs, we didn't do it. We had a chance to get Hopkins, we didn't do it. We had a chance to trade for Thielen, we didn't do it, right?
They could have signed Emmanuel Sanders, could have signed Robbie Anderson.
Could have signed AB, right?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do it. So we passed up on all that stuff, and we got Des Bryant. We had a chance to draft T. Higgins. We had a chance to move up and try to get Justin Jefferson. We got a linebacker, and then we moved down into we traded back in the second, picked up some extra 3rd-round picks, got a running back, and then we got the 16th best available wide receiver. There were 15 wide receivers drafted before Devin Duvernay. All right, so that told me all I needed to know. That told me all I needed. The Ravens did not have him that high on the draft board, right? To where they were just like, oh no, we're good. We see all these wide receivers going off the board, but he's still there. And he's going to be there for our pick. If they really thought that highly of him, they wouldn't have waited so long to get him. Seeing all those wide receivers go off the board, they would have panicked and said, "Oh no, like that's the guy we want. We need to get him now."
Mm-hmm.
All right, they just took whoever. So don't believe anything that they say about that. They didn't have that high of a grade on them.
And that's why part of me thinks that they didn't really believe that much in Lamar either, because they did the exact same thing. They traded back, and they said, "Hey, we hope he falls to us."
Yeah, they got lucky. So that's why I said pump the brakes on all this Eric DeCosta talk, right? Trust EDC, and EDC we trust. No. Trust but verify, right? Trust but verify. I don't think EDC is a bad GM, but he has not earned that kind of respect to where it's just in EDC we trust, right? He hasn't made those moves to make me think that he's on Ozzy's level. He didn't draft Lamar Jackson, right? And the moves he's made so far, I mean, I'm looking at it. I gotta give him like a C plus. Like he hasn't done a great job. I don't say he's done a bad job, but he definitely has some misses, and I can't give him that level of respect yet. We'll see what he does this offseason. Where we going here? Jonathan says it's crazy. It's always reports that we were so close to landing a star wide receiver. Yes, exactly. And as fans, we just let it go and give them an A for trying. Yeah. You don't get an A for effort. Absolutely.
I honestly don't believe that they were in on those guys. This is a thing that Baltimore's done for a long time, where they come out after the fact and they say, "Oh man, we were totally going to get that guy," and like you said, it's to appease fans, so they don't have to deal with a backlash. I don't believe they were close to getting Diggs. I don't believe they were in on DeAndre Hopkins. How are you going to tell me that you were in on DeAndre Hopkins, but you couldn't beat a 2nd-round pick and David Johnson?
Right. Yeah. I think
No,
they're
you
lying.
weren't.
I think they're lying. Joseph Carteret says I'm a little late, but trade for Rodney Hudson from Las Vegas. Who's Rodney Hudson?
He's one of their interior linemen. Very, very good player.
Okay.
If he's available, sure. I don't know if he is or what they would want for him, but yeah. It's something they're going to have to explore, because again, ideally you don't come back with a rookie center. I mean, it's fine if you see a guy that you really like in the draft, but ideally you'll get somebody can play, because the team is ready to win now.
Yeah. So Conrad says EDC barely had any time yet. He's been great so far. So what are you basing that off of? Like, what moves has he made to say he's been great? Like, I can get what you when you say he hasn't had a whole lot of time yet. That's fine, but how can you say he's great at the same time? What moves has he made that's been great? Because I haven't seen one move that's been great. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do agree with this, comrade. He says, try to sign Thuney. I think there was talks about us trying to trade for Thuney too. Of course, we didn't get that done. Shocker, right? Yeah, Thuney would have helped a lot. Tough Puppy says trade Yannick and Judon for Hudson in the third. Well, Yannick and Judon are free agents, so we can't do anything with them. Is this true, E? Is this true? He said Lamar just went off on IG. He calling out the offense. Don't play with us, E. Do not play with us, okay? Because we're gonna have to do another video about that. What did he say exactly? Did he say, look, we got to step up. We need to do this. We need to do that, or whatever? I mean, look, the pick six is on him. I mean, let's just keep it all the way real. Like the pick six is on him. So,
right. Was it a went off on the offense like, hey, we got to play better, or went off on the offense like, yo, get me some receivers and fire this coordinator?
well, look, he has called out Greg Roman before, right? And that's another telling thing too. That's another reason why I think Roman's going to be out of here, because he said it earlier in the season that the defense was calling out their plays, when they're breaking the huddle and all that stuff. I just don't think he's happy with Greg Roman, right?
Yeah.
I think Greg Roman has some little BS response to that too. I just don't think he's happy with what's going on out there. Of course he's not happy, because Lamar is further along than I think the coaching staff believes he is, right? They are trying to run out these elementary Pee Wee football type of plays, and I could tell he's frustrated with the play calling sometimes. It's just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like open up the playbook. I think I know he sees the field a lot better than they give him credit for. But Greg Roman cannot drop those plays. And also, to be fair, and you made this point too, Eric DaCosta has not given him the weapons to even attempt to open up the playbook.
No.
So
we're gonna have to get our guy Sam Cook in here and get some inside info on what Lamar really thinks about the coaching staff.
Sam Cook is our inside guy. Sam Cook, where are you? Where are you? Okay, don't think we forgot about you. We got your name. We got your name on the bulletin board over here. So you better come through for us. Jonathan says EDC's best moves was Marcus Peters, and not even that confident about that right now. I agree. What did he really do? He drafted Hollywood. Even though I think Hollywood's fine, he got it wrong, right? He didn't get the best wide receiver, or the second best, or the third best wide receiver available, and all the wide receivers were available at that pick. So you didn't get that right. You didn't. I don't know much of what you got right this year. I mean, I like Calais Campbell. That's fine. I was even happy with Yannick, but that didn't work out. That's fine. Derek Wolf, okay, those are okay moves, right? But drafting Patrick Queen was a miss. Drafting Dobbins was a miss. Drafting Duvernay was a miss, right? Like, those are all the fine players, wrong fits for our team, wrong picks for our team. So I don't see much of what he did, and I see a lot of misses. You didn't get Hopkins, you didn't get Stephon Diggs. Dog, like, I might have to bring you down to a D because of that. I might have to bring you down to a D plus, because every time I think about it, I just get real heated. Like, you can't tell me, if you're one of the best GMs in the league, you can't pull off those trades that other teams are pulling off. I just don't want to hear that.
Forget the trades, man. If you're one of the best GMs in the league, your receiving core would not be Hollywood Brown, Miles Boykin, and Willie Snead.
See, these are the type of things that irritate me too, because he gets big kudos for this. Trading the kicker, he's talking about Kari Vedvik, trading Vedvik to the Vikings for a fifth, Ngakoue, Calais Campbell, Wolf signings, drafting JK, drafting Hollywood, gaining lots of draft capital, and has lots of respect from Ozzy and everyone. I don't care about the respect he gets from anybody. That's not tangible.
trading the kicker, that's fine. That's a fine move. Trading for Ngakwe was a bad move. That did not pan out.
What?
They didn't get anything out. He didn't perform up to the level that they were expecting or that they needed, and he's a free agent now.
Look, you traded kicker for a 5th-round pick. What did you get with that 5th-round pick? Who do we get in the 5th round?
This draft, I'm not even sure who they
Was that Broderick Washington or
it was either Broderick or Bredesen, but I'm not even sure if that's the same pick.
Yeah,
but regardless, I mean, just on its own, trading a kicker for a 5th-round pick is a good move. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, Ngakwe was a bad move. It was a bad move. They did not get the level of play out of Ngakwe.
It didn't work out, right? I was happy with that at the time, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, it's not even like a look forward to the next year thing because he's not under contract for next year.
No.
So from this point forward, like that trade is irrelevant now.
We wasted a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, you got what you got out of that trade already. That's done.
And people are saying, oh, it was a low risk move because if he walks, we'll get a 3rd-round comp pick. Yeah, that's essentially a 4th-round pick. So we wasted a 3rd-round pick on this guy.
Well, I'll tell you that too. One, people will say that, right? But at the same time, they'll say he wasn't good enough and he shouldn't get a big contract. But also, if they do what they need to do in free agency, they're not going to get any 3rd-round comp pick.
Yeah.
For anybody. They need to go and sign some players.
Yeah. Texas Rays, Florida living. Thank you for joining the live stream. I definitely think it's the play calling. Lamar capable of doing way more. Absolutely agree with that. This is, where'd your comment go? Brenston sings for him. I still think we need offensive-minded coach. Yep. We could get Stephon Diggs and still suck. John Harbaugh is not offensive-minded coach. We need a brand new offensive coordinator and a good wide receiver. I partially agree with that, right? He's not offensive-minded coach, but when we won a Super Bowl, we had a lot more talent than people realize, right? Torrey Smith was a good wide receiver. Not great, but he was a good wide receiver. Anquan Bolden was an excellent wide receiver. He was a wide receiver that was getting, 1,400 yards in Arizona, right? He was getting a lot of targets, touchdowns, all that stuff. I mean, he was an all-pro wide receiver before he came to Baltimore. Now, he didn't put up the stats because, like you said, Harbaugh is not a offensive-minded coach, but you had that kind of talent in Anquan Bolden. Just because he didn't put up the yards doesn't mean he didn't have the talent. He showed you, especially when we got to the playoffs. So the talent was there. And of course, we had Ray Rice, we had Dennis Pitta, right? So we had some very good skill positions, and we also had a good O-line. So while the offense didn't put up a lot of stats, when we needed them to come up big, they came up big in the playoffs. They had the ability to do that. Right now, we don't have that kind of talent. Right. So that's the issue I'm having with Eric DeCosta. And you're absolutely right, though, about Harbaugh. Like, just in general, we need to get somebody that's more offensive minded. So we don't necessarily need to have that level of talent to be successful. So, yeah, I partially agree with that. Tough Puppy said, as soon as Tucker missed the kicks, I knew the game was over. That set the tone for me. And that's, that kind of ties into what Brenton sings. That's what it is. Brenton sings for him. That's what he was saying, that we need somebody that's more offensive minded because our goal is to, kind of just, get these, these plays in small chunks, slowly get our way down the field and run out the clock and, end it with the field goal. That's usually our goal. Like a touchdown is an added bonus, but our goal is to get in field goal range, kick a field goal, and then play tough defense, right? And when we miss a field goal, then it's like, oh man, the sky's falling, right? Yeah. The sky's falling because, what are we gonna do? How many times are we gonna miss a field goal and have our defense hold them, right? They score a touchdown, it's over. Mm-hmm. Like if you have a competent offense or at least a solid offense, you're not worried about it.
Right.
Conrad says get Benjamin Victor from OSU practice squad. Oh, we got Benjamin Victor. I don't know who that is. That's not a move. You count that as a move? Jonathan says, even if we let G-Roll walk, all that will happen is Hars brings in another OC that we'll be upset with in 2 years' time. No, you're right. No,
Yeah.
no, you're absolutely right. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Well, yeah, he'll bring in somebody, and he'll be like, oh, yeah, it's not Giro. Yeah, yeah. And maybe that first year, he's okay. Yeah, by a second year, we're going to be like, oh, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. At the root of it, Harbaugh has to go.
Well, I will disagree with that. I don't think Harbaugh is the root. I think that is in the front office. That's how they think, and it's how they've run the team forever. And yeah, Ozzy's not the GM anymore, right? But he's still there, and it's his protege who's the GM now. Now, I would say, they're not going to move on from DaCosta anytime soon.
Right.
So I do think, getting a whole fresh start with the coaching staff and bringing in an offensive-minded guy will go a long way to fixing the situation.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hot Taco, thank you for joining the live stream, man. Just now joining, guys. Just wanted to say that this team didn't seem ready or prepared to play. Absolutely, man. Thank you for joining the live stream, man.
That's like the Harbaugh mantra right there.
Yeah.
We're not ready. We're not prepared.
This is a good question. Is there any possibility that we keep Roman for run game and get a new offensive-minded head coach to be in the passing game? Now, no, he can't be offensive coordinator. If you're saying demote him to run game coordinator, I don't mind that.
It would take an incredible amount of humility from Greg Roman, and I doubt it.
Now, I can see us offering him that the way we offered Marty Morningwig.
And Marty Morningwig hopped on his motorcycle and has never been seen since. No, that would be great, but I don't think that he would accept that because it is a demotion.
Yeah. But, I don't think I think we're going to fire Greg Roman. I don't think Greg Roman's going to get another offensive coordinator job, right? I think he will end up being like a running backs coach or a run game coordinator or whatever for another team. But I don't think he's going to do it for this team because
better somewhere else than the people who are trying to demote me.
Yeah, exactly. But ideally, that would be great. But you're right about that. It's in the front office. It's just the mindset that they have, right? So even if they fire Harbaugh, will it change with the new head coach? Man, it's hard to say. And like I said, yes. I forgot who said it, but yes, EDC. He's new into his regime, and fine. I mean, doesn't matter if I'm willing to give him time or not. I mean, he's our guy. So let's just give him time and see what he can do. But so far, he has not. I can't say he's done a great job. I can't even say he's done a really good job, to be honest. Right? We've been playing well. We say he's done a good job because the team is winning, but it's not a team that he built. Yeah. Right? The team that he's building, they're not performing. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, and also you signed Des Bryant. You're looking at a D- right now, my man. Like you brought
coming out and saying we're not done yet, and then signing Des Bryant. I mean, that's wow. Yeah.
Noah Driscoll, thank you for joining the live stream, man. I saw you in here earlier. 2021 second round pick and 2021 fourth round pick for Julio Jones.
I don't think it'll take that much, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll take a second and a fourth to get Julio, considering his age and he missed several games to injury this year. But absolutely, if they're taking offers on Julio Jones, Baltimore should be on the phone.
Yeah. All right, we're going to read a few more comments and then we're going to get out of here. It's almost 1:00. Thoughts on Lamar Jackson's tonight's performance? That pick six was horrible, but he did throw some great passes. Can Lamar ever win a Super Bowl? I really thought we had a chance against these Bills. Look, the sky's the limit for Lamar. He's not even close to reaching his full potential, right? It was a horrible pick six, but it shouldn't have been a game killer. It was way too early in the game. We had plenty of time to get back into it, and the Bills' offense really hadn't done a whole lot, right? Okay, it's 17-3. What was it? Early in the third quarter. So what? Yeah. Get the ball back, go down the field, score a touchdown, and then it's a 7-point game again. And the way our defense was playing, we would have stayed in that game.
And Patrick McCarry said, "Not so fast, my friend." In terms of can he win a Super Bowl, Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, Nick Foles, the ghost of Peyton Manning have all won Super Bowls. So yeah. He definitely can. It's just a
Flacco.
matter of okay, I'm not going to let you slander elite Flacco like that.
I'm not
But it's just a
slandering
matter
Flacco.
of
I'm just saying
whether or
Lamar's
not
better
they
than Flacco.
build the offense around him. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's absolutely more than good enough to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. No question. No question. All right. Texas raised, Florida living, being from Dallas and being a Cowboys fan, I can relate to bringing in messed up coach staff. How can we as fans see the problem, but the people who get paid to do it can't figure it out? Shaking my head. Because so we've explained this on our podcast, and if you haven't heard our podcast, check it out. Lunch break hot take. My thing is, I don't believe. I think at least 40, maybe even higher, 40% of the league. And I'm talking about from the coaching staff all the way up to the front office are not qualified to do their job. Right? You're not getting professional level coaching or GMs or just front office level personnel, right? This league is run on off of people that get there through nepotism. That's it, right? The only requirement that you have to have is you are related to somebody or you are friends with somebody. That's the only requirement that you need. You don't need any other requirement. I mean, look at Washington a few years back when Jay Gruden was there and he had his nephew as a strength and conditioning coach because he was a bodybuilder or some nonsense like that. What certifications did he have?
In Carolina, Ron Rivera hired North Turner, North Turner's brother, North Turner's son, and North Turner's nephew.
Can't make that up, man. You cannot make that up, right? It's all about who you know. There is no other. Look, right now in New England, Bill Belichick's son is the defensive coordinator.
That's right. He's going to be a great head coach. But also to your question, I don't know what you do for a living, but if you're having a bad day at work, would you listen to somebody giving you advice who'd never done what you're doing? Probably
Exactly.
not, right? You probably just get mad.
So when you ask how can they not see the things that we see, because not everybody's good at their job. We assume because this is for the players, they have to be the best of the best. The players are held to a high standard, right? And it's the highest level of that you can go in the sport. So you assume everybody that's in that job is at the top of their game. They're the best of the best, but it's simply not true. There are so many people out there that can do their jobs 10 times better than what they're doing, right? Unfortunately, they don't have the same connections as the people that are in those jobs. So some of those guys, like, they really are that bad. They really don't know any better. In fact, Matt Waldman, if you guys don't know who Matt Waldman is, check him out. It's the RSP, Rookie Scouting Report is the name of his site. He wrote an article a while back explaining, saying the exact same thing we're saying, and he tells a story of an anonymous coach who used to work for the Rams, and he got into it with the GM at the time. I can't remember the quarterback that they were looking at. They were scouting a quarterback, and no, it wasn't a coach. It was a scout, and the scout was giving his report saying this quarterback is not good, right? Like he's not first round talent. You don't want to get him. And the GM was just getting to a shouting match with him, saying, "No, he is good. I don't know what you're looking at, but I've seen the tape on him." And he proceeds to put on a highlight tape. He puts in a little disc at the time, whatever, and he plays it. And the scout's trying to explain to him, "No, this is a highlight reel. Like it's not like game tape." And the GM didn't want to hear it. And of course, the scout got fired, right? And they take this quarterback, and he sucked, right? So, no. Sometimes they don't know. Sometimes they just don't know. But they got the job, and they're in a position of power, and you can't tell them anything. Now, I'm not saying this is Eric DeCosta. I'm not saying that that's him at all. But I'm just saying I'm not giving them all the kudos just yet. Okay. Okay. A few more here. Okay, G-Star 007, man, thank you for joining the live stream. Appreciate you, man. Z to B says, how about them Nets? Yes. I love it. And I love all the hate that comes along with it, too, man. Conrad said he was grinding. He was a great addition to the young wide receiver room. I hope you're not talking about Dez. Oh, yeah, he is talking about Dez.
Come on, man.
No, Dez, he provided absolutely nothing out there. Absolutely nothing.
Dez was less productive than Miles Boykin.
Yeah. Hot Taco said it right. Passed on AB and got Dez. Dez gave us absolutely nothing. In fact, he publicly went out there and said he quit. All right, I quit. That to me, Dez was a low risk. Low risk, low reward. You know. Yeah, it sucks that Darren Waller couldn't stay on the team, but I understand why they had to let him go.
Yeah.
Yes, but try to get him back. All right, y'all. That is it, man. We're getting out of here. Okay, one last one. One last one here from Jonathan. Another thing I hate about Greg Roman's offense, we have so many bad snaps, but why can't Giro ever design plays that has Lamar behind center? Yes. I think Coach left the room, but Coach says that every week. Put Lamar behind center. Why do you guys think that he can't take snaps behind center? Again, it's a stigmatism about black quarterbacks. The stigmatism about black quarterbacks is they can't take snaps behind center. They can't go through their reads. They're one read and run quarterbacks. They're not cerebral. It's all those little tropes, and I think they kind of buy into that a little bit, especially Greg Roman, who's limited.
Listen, I don't care that he's in shotgun all the time. Get a center who can snap the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
Noah says, I'm a leave on this comment. If we had just gave Lamar what he wanted, AB, we wouldn't be here in this position right now.
And you know who else is saying that right now? Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
There are several quarterbacks who asked for Antonio Brown publicly.
And Lamar said,
didn't get him.
That's part of Lamar saying on his IG. Yeah. Oh, we got a Bills fan here. Hey, shout out to you guys. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. Bills fan here. We had Roman, and he was no good. No creativity. Get rid of him. Find Lamar a deep threat, AB, and you'll be a contender. Hey, appreciate that, man. Thank you for joining the live stream. Make sure you take a minute.
It's a great win for Buffalo tonight.
Yeah.
Baltimore will be back real soon, though.
Yeah, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, my man. I know you're a Bills fan, but all are welcome here. And we don't just talk football. We do NBA, we do UFC, we do boxing, all that good stuff. We do a weekly live show on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. where we discuss all that. And we're going to be definitely talking about Nets and Harden coming up this week for sure. But with that, man, we're getting out of here. Everybody, like we said a few times, if you're new here, hit that like and subscribe button. Give us a follow over on Sportscaster. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at LBHT Show. If you want to donate, you can be a monthly patron at patreon.com/LBHT Show, or you can drop a little something in the Cash App right there, $ LBHT Show. Just make sure you leave a comment so we can read it on air. But all right, guys, that's it. B, you got any parting shots?
And not really, but I just want to leave everybody with this. It sucks to lose like that, only scoring 3 points. The pick six, Lamar getting hurt, but the future is bright in Baltimore, and it's bright because of Lamar. They get Greg Roman out of there and get a 21st century offensive coordinator, and they're going to be contending for a long, long time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Man, you guys stayed up all this time with us. It's 1:00 in the morning. So thank you very much, man. We appreciate all of you. And, y'all have a good night. Get some rest, and we will see you guys very soon. Peace out.